Guys, we have the Turkish Great Trial. Look at this, the Turkish National Reclamation Government. When I was going into this game, this is not what I expected it to turn out as. But you know what? I'm all here for it, and I guess we're getting our revenge on Greece. I don't know what Greece did, that was so bad. But before we can take on Greece, we gotta reunite Turkey. Now, beginning as the Turkish National Movement, we are technically the legitimate Turkish government. Once led by Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, but then he got hurt in a battle and now is put in a coma. This sent the entire country into disarray, and everything hinges on the possibility of him waking up. And while he is absent, we have two leaders that do not agree. Alright, well we can only do one focus. Turkey's savior and a deep coma. And there's just one decision here, reunify Turkey. Well, okay, well we can see what lands we need, I guess. Oh, we don't actually have to control this. What is this called? Izmir. We don't have to control Izmir. After setting up my country, I noticed that we have an Eastern army here too. This by far put us in the strongest position to reunify Turkey as opposed to any other government. I have a feeling this video might be on the shorter side, but we will see. Because I don't know if there's any content after unifying Turkey. Oh boy, would I be in for a shock when the Great Trial started coming around. I haven't even played the Great Trial in TNO. I'm getting to it, guys. This is just the warm-up. Cool. Oh, Grand Assembly begins. The session begins. Are there going to be multiple events? There probably will be, and then we choose, but it all leads to the same thing. Oh, that's the guy from Hoi 4. That's the dude from Hoi 4. That's the non-aligned guy. And if you notice, the guy on the left is actually the fascist dude. So seeing that is the case, I immediately went for the fascist guy. The decision I just chose gave me some army experience to modify my divisions. I think we can remove one dude from there. That will save some infantry equipment. We'll actually have plenty of it in storage now. Maybe I'll do some cavalry recon, and then I'll be down even more stuff. Rumors are spreading about a strange creature that, according to eyewitnesses, rides around on chicken jockey. It's literally a chicken jockey. Why am I talking about a Minecraft meme? It's been out for so long. The meme's dead. Anyway, that event was a bit odd. I don't know what they're talking about, a creature on a chicken. I then opened up my economy to free trade, since this state doesn't really have a lot of resources and we can benefit from the bonuses. Oh, okay. New leader. Fevzi. Let's go despotism popularity. So now we're going... Oh, there he is. 25 political power for stability and political power gain. We're in so much stability debt that I click a button to improve stability and it doesn't even move. With the military in charge of the country, I decided to make some heavy tanks. Then some infrastructure in the form of rebuilding roads that our heavy tanks could actually be used. There's also this begin reunification. When can I do this? Okay, 1924. Halfway through 1924. And we can declare war on, I guess these are all the different guys we can declare war on. Or we can remove the divide. That's actually really good. Yes. We get some civilian factories from that. What is left communism? How can you go any more left? I hired a chief of army and air force, especially an air force guy because I was getting no air XP and I need to build an air force. Also the chief of army so I could start building my heavy tanks, which I went ahead and did. Now I don't know the meta, okay? So when you judge my heavy tank, please consider that. Now this is the design I'm rocking with. I know it's not fast and it has a diesel engine. It's not supposed to be fast. I'm putting it with infantry units to give them some armor and breakthrough. That's our man right there. All right, we'll produce these whenever we can. Unfortunately, we don't have enough military factories to produce any right now, but as we gain and conquer more land, we'll be able to start producing them. We can probably genocide Armenians? Like, that's actually great. What genocide? No, there's no genocide. I don't know what you're talking about. Nice. The most basic planes ever. I need a lot more factories. I got this. Okay, we're going to change the light tanks for heavy tank. Heavy tank. Heavy tank. I'm happy with infantry there. Maintenance company. Actually, they already have high reliability. We don't need that. We'll go support artillery for some soft attack. That is the tank division that we're going to be using. That's perfect. I want you guys to leave a comment saying that was the best tank design you've ever seen and there's nothing wrong with it. Anyway, after arresting some enemies of the state, it was time to start thinking about unifying Turkey. The communists in the northeast had declared war on the Eastern Army, so I had to go and support them. We're going to be a dictatorship. Let's ban the guns. Alright, Soviet. These guys, right? The Soviet. Declare war on them. Also, I had looked a bit closer at my focus tree and I noticed some focuses had big red font, specifically these two, which I made my mission to make sure that I go down that path. In the meantime, I had cut off a bunch of the communist army in the south while I focused on their northern capital. Didn't take long for me to encircle it, but once I took it, it was not over. Establish a Turkish air force. Oh, we get an airbase. And then fighter production cost goes down? That's perfect. I'm starting to produce fighters. Unfortunately, the mountainous terrain was giving me a hard time. In fact, I was taking so many casualties just trying to get one tile in the mountains. Eventually, I gave up and just focused on the south. Once I cleaned that up, I inevitably knew that I had to go back to the north and try and figure out how I could push. Here we go. Alright, surely we break through here with some CAS. Alright, no rationing. I still have 0% stability. It's because I'm at war, but like, goddamn. Finally, after months and months of pushing on end, I finally broke through towards their capital. You gotta break through eventually. No, come on, it's been in the 90s for so long. Finally, holy crap. This should be it. Are they done? No, but they will be very soon. It was so bad that I had to increase my conscription. But at long last, they capitulated. Only like 7 others to go. I can declare we're in the Ottoman government. What about Kurdistan? I didn't want to fight a two-front war at any point, so Kurdistan would be the best option. However, they're kinda strong, and I don't want a repeat of what just happened, so I decided to attack this smaller state in the south. The Ottoman government are giving us equipment? They improve relations with us. What do they want from us? Military factories. Guns. Oh, I got so many more, because I integrated. Alright, 1926. Time is flying by. We need this victory point, and then this one. I think that'll be it. Once they were capitulated and integrated, I was ready to move on to Kurdistan. No one else has planes. In this mod, I swear no one else has planes. When you play any civil war faction, they just don't have planes. Which is good, because it gives me an advantage, and Kurdistan were very easy to run over. There we go. Oh, we can just straight up annex them, I suppose? Well, tension's already at 100, and I want to deploy this tank division. I don't care if we're down 17 of them. The Ottomans need to see this. I was expecting it to be a difficult fight. There's a lot of mountainous terrain and their capital is across a strait. However, there was this one plains tile and I used my tank division to break into it. Alright, we should break through here. If we keep them on the back foot like this, then they got no chance. Into Constantinople, yep. Like, everyone else is just doing nothing. All the other countries are doing nothing. They're not attacking anyone. They're not doing anything. They're just waiting to get invaded. There was only 2 left to reunite Turkey, neither of which were going to be difficult. Let's go. Green movement, whatever this is, a libertarian socialism. Alright, well, goodbye. And let's clean these guys up. We have the SS unifying. What? Heinrich Himmler is in charge. That looks fun. Well, I know the next country that I'm going to play in this mod. Anyway, next year we would reunify Turkey. Alright, we're about to reunify Turkey. Alright, and then after we... Yep, there we go. Alright, let's reunify Turkey. If I click this, do I have to do this? I don't know. There it is. Turkish reunification. Look, Mustafa Kemal would be proud. There it is. Alright, that was really easy. And we got more land than we bargained for. Let's integrate some of that. Now, where to from here? Now, apparently, the reunification of Turkey woke Mustafa Kemal up from his coma. Oh, here we go, an event. Miracle. Mustafa Kemal wakes up. A month ago, finally unified Turkey. Turkey being unified woke this guy up from a coma. That's insane. However, we got 2 options. We can celebrate it and just be like, yeah, let's go. Or somehow, someone with a gun shoots him. Someone has a gun, get down. I have a feeling this leads to the national syndicalist path. It appears we have become more radical in our beliefs, with Mustafa getting shot. Naturally, we needed someone to blame, and look who's across the Aegean. Yes, this is all Greece's fault. He wouldn't have been in hospital in the first place if he didn't get hit with that artillery shell from Greece. And now, they must pay. We shall put them on trial for the murder of Mustafa Kemal Ataturk. Oh, we're black. Yo, Turkish National Reclamation Government. Is this Black League? Is this a reference? I think it might be. The flag as well looks really similar. Are we going to put a great trial on for the Greeks? Is there going to be a great trial? We don't have... Oh, this guy just promotes himself to a field marshal. Why not? Limited exports because we're not complete idiots. Before I could invade Greece, however, I had to invade Armenia. I fixed the supply over there, and I also changed my occupied law to brutal oppression, because it's fitting, I guess. Armenia were actually fighting Georgia at the same time as well, so they weren't much of a problem. Armenia capitulated, then I brought my army all the way back over to Greece. By now, my industry was making 3 heavy tanks a day. Alright, let Greek blood stain the fields. 20%. We have enough war support. We have no stability, but that's fine. We declare on the Greeks and we're going to win. For the first time, my heavy tanks were going to be used against a competent opponent. Unfortunately, that opponent is consisting of straits and mountains, like the 2 things tanks just don't perform in. Alright, let's go. But in northern Greece, it was really easy, because some of that was plains. What was annoying was that front lines weren't being put on straits. What? And then there's nothing. Oh my gosh, there's so many straights, it's actually annoying me. There we go. Alright. Now, I could either puppet or annex it, and I decided to annex it for dramatic effect. I could always release it later, so I thought. Wow, that black just encompassing all of Greece is terrifying. I was gonna release it as a puppet later, but it turns out I couldn't. Well, that's a shame. It looks like Greece is stuck under our control. Oh no. Turns out we're not done though. We want to interfere in the Middle East. The Great Trial. And so nightmare descends upon Greece. All the Turks that died to these infields have been avenged, and a new age begins. I began invading Iraq, Syria, and Iran, and of course they were no match for my heavy tanks. However, next year there would be a big problem that comes up. You might be wondering why we've gone straight to 1930 and not 1929. That's because in my idiocy, I forgot to record 1929, but I will give you a quick recap of what happened. I was invading the Middle East and I capitulated them, but just before I did so, the Russian provisional government declared war on my puppet in Armenia, and they managed to push me back to the front line that you're seeing now. Have I been recording? I don't remember if I have, but my brain has just been on complete blank. Have I been recording? These guys declared war on us. Oh, no, don't do that. These guys declared war on us. I don't know if I've been recording. I swear I have, but maybe my brain sometimes, all the years just merge together. Yeah, I don't know what kind of slop is coming out of my mouth right there. Some of the words are just not even understandable. Anyway, we'd managed to solidify the front against Russia, and they were taking heavy casualties. Have how many in their army? Like, they're between 1 and 2 million. I have 500,000. I'm holding them off. Alright, they're just running into me. I think I can just... I'm just wait until they stop. Are they pushing me back? I don't think they are, but they were for a little bit. It's like really slow. It's like the pace that Russia's pushing back Ukraine in real life. It's like if they're the same, they'd have to keep attacking for like 3,000 years for them to take all of my land. Anyway, I got to the point where I thought I could do some damage, and I managed to push them further up into the Caucasus. Are we doing it? Are we just gonna push them out again? No, we got it. I mean, it is a port, but we can like. Surely they're dying. So I think we should release... Oh, we can't release nations anymore. Does it make sense to be able to annex it and then release it after a certain amount of time? Like, that makes complete sense, but I can't do that. Oh, this guy's got sunglasses on now. Most of 1931 was spent just watching the Russian casualties increase. Are we friends with Himmler? Are we Aryan? Are Turks Aryan? Does he consider the Turkish as Aryan? Let us know. By now I got sick of watching Russia and I was confident that I could actually push into them, so I began advancing further up the Caucasus. If we take Tsaritsyn, surely they would sign a white peace with us. At the same time, I didn't really want to capitulate them. They still got to finish their Russian civil war. So I thought, okay, if I take Tsaritsyn, I will 100% just do a white peace with them and then not take much land. I'll just white peace with them. Because they declared war on me. Like, I don't even really want to fight them. And I know I can take Tsaritsyn. It's really easy. Watch. In a very brief amount of time, mine. So I did the conditional surrender command with the plan of not really taking much land. However, my puppet was in the peace deal, and they started taking so much. Because I forgot I didn't have player-led peace conferences on, and it was a disaster. Lovely. That looks beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm literally going to annex my puppet. No, I'll return their territory so it doesn't look as awful. But then we ended up losing Armenia. At this point, I don't care, okay? Fine, they can have it. Now, if only I could carve out a beautiful piece. I would have a released Greece. That's my puppet. I would release, like, this part of Iran and Iraq. Half of Syria. I'd keep, like, most of Kurdistan. Unfortunately, I could not, so it looks like we're just going to have to annex it all again. Ah, what a shame. I think we've done a little bit more than reclaim our territory as the National Reclamation Government, but whatever, it looks good. I like the color. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. It's a little on the shorter side, but that means it's just out sooner, so I guess it's fine. I totally did not expect the Great Trial to be in this mod, but here we are. Like and subscribe. I kept forgetting to tell you that for some reason. Do it. And I'll see you guys in the next one.